I've been married 38 years. I have 4 grandkids, 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Really am excited about the opportunity to testify basically about what happened to me about 7 years ago when I went into Dr. Ballard's office and had a history of knee problems. And I was very frustrated because I played sports basically all my life. I played softball and basketball, and I hurt my knee really bad when I was about 40 years old with tore my ACL. And so I kind of fell in love with racquetball and wanted to play racquetball almost every day as much as my body could take. My question to Dr. Ballard, basically what I wanted to know was, what about this double knee replacement? If I have it done, or if you do it, what would that look like? What would my life look like after I had it done? Can I still can I run? Can I play racquetball? Can I play softball or whatever? And he basically talked to me in a very professional manner, but he told me, he said, Terry, he said, you can play racquetball again. I just don't know at what level. Well, I had the surgery, had both knees. He scheduled them. He completed the surgery. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with in my whole life. It was very traumatic initially. And I really didn't know what to expect with the rehab, but I was told by Dr. Ballard that if I did the rehab, that my whole future as far as the flexibility, the strength, the conditioning of my legs would be determined by the first 6 weeks of rehab. And I worked very hard, very aggressively with a little bicycle. I got a treadmill. I did everything they asked me to do. I went to the local YMCA and did the rehab there, completed it really quick, and felt really good. For the first time in my life, I felt balanced. He had straightened my legs. I was having some back issues at that time, and he basically realigned my body. And the pain was gone. I had bone on bone in my knees, and the pain was gone after 6 weeks, and I basically just started walking and exercising. And 9 months after surgery, I played my first racquetball game with my son. And after a year, I felt very comfortable playing racquetball. I could move on the court. I started playing almost probably 4 or 5 days a week. I slowly started winning most of my games. Probably after the first 2 years, I was winning probably 90% of all the matches that I was playing in. Then I got involved in the Senior Olympics about 7 years ago and started playing. I won a state championship. And I think after I turned 51 years old, I won a state championship in singles. And I went back to Franklin, Tennessee every year since then. And I've only lost 1 match in 7 years. I think I'm like 61-1 there. So people kept encouraging me to go to the national tournament. 2 years ago, I went to Houston, finished 5th. Came close to winning it then. Lost to the man who won the gold medal by 1 point in one of the matches there. So I went to Cleveland, Ohio. I trained. I talked to Dr. Ballard last year, and he said to keep him up to date. So I went to Cleveland, Ohio last month. Went through my bracket undefeated. Won, I think, about 9 or 10 matches. All of them were really hard. Very, the top level competition for the Senior Olympics. The state champion of every state comes to Cleveland, Ohio, basically to try to win a gold medal. So I made it to the finals. I won in a tiebreaker. And, when I got back, I told Sharon I was going to call Dr. Ballard and tell him. And, it meant, what he did for me really meant a lot. And I really appreciate it. I just want to tell him, and I just want to testify that, he really changed my life. I owe him a lot. He's been good to me. He's a great surgeon. I tell everybody they need to go to him if they have knee issues. Racquetball was something I loved and I wanted to play, and Dr. Ballard gave me that opportunity, and I don't know. He came in, he prayed with me. I felt I've never had a surgeon do that. It was just really a very positive experience. I have people that ask me all the time, or basically tell me that, would you do it again? And I tell them absolutely. And if you have any knee issues, you need to go see Dr. Ballard, and he's my favorite surgeon in the whole world.